Hello everyone and welcome to the Game Week 25 deadline stream. First ever deadline stream on the Aman Talks FPL channel. Great to see you guys out there in the chat. Hopefully you guys have sorted out your team, your transfers. Obviously double Game Week 25 for Manchester United and for Brighton. So exciting times. We've already got a few people in the chat as well. We've got Mitchell and we've got Owen. Loving the FPL and the NRL Supercoach crossovers here. I was watching the All Stars game actually just then, but I've had to turn it off. Otherwise, I'm probably going to get copyright strike for having it on the TV. But yeah, obviously good to have some rugby league back. But more importantly, we've got FPL deadline in under an hour. So hopefully you guys sorted out your team. So what we'll do in this live stream, I wasn't able to put a team selection video together. So I'll just talk you through what my kind of transfer thoughts are for the particular game week. What I'm looking to do moving forward in terms of chip strategy as well. I'll very quickly look at how I went as well in Game Week 24, but obviously I don't want to spend too much time on that. And of course, any questions that you guys have, last minute questions and team selection, transfers and etc. Definitely leave them in the chat below as well. Quentin, we've got Quentin in the chat. Hey mate, good to see. I think Quentin, have you actually captained Rashford? I think that's a really nice play. I think FPL while going into that and that particular matchup against Southampton could really suit someone like Rashford who kind of runs in behind. And so, maybe Fernandes is supplying some good passes and through balls and, Rashford's on the end of them scoring some goals. So your punts have worked previously actually. So a Rashford captain, that's a pretty big move. Hopefully it works out for you, but I don't think we'll delay too much longer. Obviously exciting night. It's so for Australia, it's so good to have in Australia a deadline at 10 p.m. instead of God knows 5:30 a.m. I can actually watch the first game as well. I've got a couple of players featuring in that. Anyway, I'll quickly jump on to how I went for Game Week 24. I won't spend very long on this. I think, no one's really interested in that too much, but it is kind of a part of the team selection as well. But I scored 77 points, which is a good result. I last minute decided to captain Jota, which worked out very well. We scored the brace, so obviously that worked out good. I did have it on Bowen originally. Oh, sorry, I haven't even updated Bowen's score, you can see there, but he scored 11. There we go, he scored 11 points. He was originally the captain, and seeing him score, I was like, God damn it, should have put it on him. And then Cancelo looked very, very threatening. Could have captained him as well, but he got 7, but obviously ended up last minute on Jota, mainly just because I thought, it seemed like with the press conference news that Salah was a good chance of playing, I thought that's probably only going to be good for Jota. Salah's been creating a lot of chances for him previously, so I thought it's a leaky Leicester defense, I'll chuck it on Jota. That was a last minute call, and a last minute decision as well to bring in Bruno Fernandes. So I was going to roll the free transfer, but then there was this rumor like 2 minutes before deadline that Ronaldo potentially was going to be benched. And I thought if Ronaldo's benched, I'm going to get like a 1 point out of him. And that's actually good for Bruno. He could be on pens. So I just decided I'll bring him in this week. He was going to come in this week anyway for me. So I did that last minute move of Bernardo to Bruno Fernandes. If FPL Inzaghi's in the chat or watches the replay, we were chatting at like 5:13 a.m. and he just told me, oh, have you seen the rumor about Ronaldo? I was like, no. So he told me about the rumor. I brought in Fernandes. Obviously Fernandes only scored 2 points, but it's good to have him in place. He could have got an assist as well on one of those set pieces. So happy to have him. It was a good week. I went up to 21.5k, so a green arrow. So we'll happily take that. And I'll quickly show you as well how the team is set up for Game Week 25. So I've obviously got De Gea back in goals now. He's got the double game week, Southampton at home, Brighton at home. So I think that's a good double game week for De Gea. He scored 8 points last time, getting 4 in each game. So even if they don't get a clean sheet, he should hopefully just get some save points. And so he's got the vice at the moment. I honestly think if you don't have Ronaldo or Fernandes and you want to skip other Manchester United players, just captain De Gea. Honestly, I'd captain him over Salah, to be honest, just because it's a double game week. I always go with the double game weeks. I'll quickly look at the chat as well. So yeah, Quentin, yep, captain Rashford. You and FPL West Ham both doing the same thing. You guys do the podcast together, you just do every move together as well, the same thing. But yeah, the adrenaline will be high, mate. If the captaincy punt works out for you, that'd be awesome. Mitchell, Jota captain, good stuff. Sean, here to support your first live stream. Thank you so much. Welcome to have you here. Mazpel Network, I'm triple captaining CR7 and there's no stopping me. He's the GOAT. Ooh, a triple captain Ronaldo. That's interesting because I think everyone's been so fixated on triple captain Salah or Trent in 26. I mean, feasibly, if you've, looking to play like a bench boost in 26 and you could go for a triple captain on Ronaldo or Fernandes. It's just minutes for Ronaldo. I'm just not sure if Ronaldo's going to have the minutes in both of these games. I mean, he was benched, so you'd think maybe the next two he should hopefully play both, pretty good minutes, and then he might get a rest against Leeds in preparation for the Champions League. So Fernandes is probably a safer bet, maybe just because I do think that he's more likely to play the 90 minutes in both games. But triple captain Ronaldo. I mean, I can't remember what the stat is, but I think he's blanked now, like 5 or 6 games in a row. And apparently 5 is the longest that he's ever gone without scoring. So he might just come back with a bang, So good luck to you, mate. I'm definitely not going to triple captain Ronaldo. He's not even my captain. I'm going to captain Fernandes. Just what I thought, or just what I mentioned about expected minutes. I just think Fernandes is going to have a more security of minutes, and so he's been looking better as well in this 4-3-3 formation. So Fernandes, I think, is going to be my captain. I got one free transfer. I've got 2.3 mil in the bank. I'll just keep that aside for Fernandes to Salah next week, and I'll get into my potential moves. For future game weeks. This particular game week, though, I'm not looking to do anything. I know I said that last game week as well, and I made a last minute call. So let's see. We could do it live on stream, but ideally, I'm looking to roll. I mean, it's so frustrating. Martinelli getting that red card. It's because he was perfect for game week 26 double, and now he's going to miss the Brentford game, and he's going to be available for Wolves. So he's going to miss the game that I actually wanted him for, which is super, super annoying. But I'm going to bench him at the moment. I'll get into that into a little bit as well as to why I think I might just keep him just to hold the trade. But yeah, Trossard comes back in. He should be fine in terms of recovered from COVID. So yeah, he's got a double. So in total, I've got 4 double game week players for 25, which I think is fine. One Brighton. Ideally, Brighton, you probably get a defender, not Trossard, but Watford away is a decent fixture. And United away, United haven't been the best defensively as well. So Trossard, maybe he can repay the faith. I mean, I don't know how long he's going to stay in the team. But then King, I'm having to play King against Brighton, which I don't think is a great matchup. I don't really see much happening there. But, instead of Dennis, just because I think he'll still be on penalties. So I'll just play King for that reason. I mean, we've got Man City against Norwich, so we've got Laporte and Cancelo. I mean, Laporte looks so close to scoring again against Tottenham, so I'm really happy that I've got him in the team. The problem is that there's potentially rotation, for City this game week, so I'm not sure if Cancelo is going to play, just because I think they might prioritise the Champions League. And same with Laporte as well. I mean, City could just rotate their entire team, to be honest, and still smash Norwich, And the bench is not looking the best because of Martinelli's blank. So, I've got Livramento and Dennis. It's not the 2 best subs in the world, but I might just have to cop it this particular week. I'm not going to take out any of my City players. I did have a thought about maybe taking out Martinelli for like a Ramsey, just to kind of create a bit of extra money. And Ramsey has got Newcastle, so I could play Ramsey over Trossard. But I think I'm more likely to want to hold the trade this week, just because I think having 2 next week for 26, I'm definitely looking to make at least 2 or 3 moves, I think. And so if I can limit the amount of hits I have to take, then I might just kind of push that move back until 26. So I don't think I'm going to be making any moves, I think, in this particular week. So I'll just quickly look at the chat. So nobody, Cootie, Captain, Kevin De Bruyne. Was that for game week 24? Or you're looking to do that for 25? I mean, De Bruyne, there is a question mark over whether he's going to play. A lot of the sources I've seen on Twitter and like the predictions, they expect that he might not play just because he's played a lot of minutes. He played in the FA Cup recently as well. And Gundogan, is a very able replacement in that kind of right centre mid position. But it's De Bruyne. Obviously, he's one of the more nailed on options. So I don't know if I'd captain him this week. I think I definitely would go for Salah or Fernandes. I mean, I probably would put Fernandes and Ronaldo at the top, and then probably Salah behind them. I think I always just go for a double game week player. So Shivey, Salah or Fernandes this game week? I'm going to say Fernandes. I mean, I've got a little bias because I've got Fernandes in my team, but I think you just got to play the odds. I know Salah looks so good against Leicester. I mean, there's a bit of a thing where Salah doesn't get returns against Burnley. For so long, we were saying the only team he blanked against this entire season was Burnley. Although, if you remember that game, he set up Mane like once or twice, and he could have very easily scored for himself. He actually scored, and it was just ruled offside. So I don't really buy into that theory too much, to be honest. But yeah, I think I'd go Fernandes. I think just play the doubles and just switch Fernandes to Salah next week. Like, he's almost a must-have. He almost is, basically a must-have in 26. I think this week, though, I'm hopefully just going to get away with it. I just don't think he's going to be as heavily captained. Obviously, he's a perfect single game week player. I just don't know if he's going to be captained that much. I think people are going to captain Fernandes, Ronaldo. I honestly think people are going to captain De Gea over Salah. People will just get into doubles that heavily, and I'm also part of the same as well. So yeah, I think I would go with Fernandes. Mitchell, I'm worried about City players being rested, especially Cancelo, KDB. Yeah, I think it's so hard to predict with City what the team's going to look like. I think later on I can jump onto Twitter and look at Luke, so from Fantasy Football Scout. He does some predictions, and I think there's another account called Jump the Wave by Emma, and she kind of tallies up predictions as well. So we might take a look at that in a little bit just to kind of see what they're saying in terms of predicted teams. So we'll definitely jump onto that, I think, just after I kind of finish discussing the team at the moment. Quentin's solid team for this week. Yeah, I think the team's okay. Like, we've got good single game week fixtures. We've got City against Norwich. Trent is Trent against Burnley. Davies is at home to Wolves. I mean, Spurs did concede 3 goals to Southampton, but Wolves not the best scoring team, and Spurs are playing at home, so maybe we'll see a clean sheet there. Obviously, Trossard's got a double. Jota's got Burnley. Fernandes double. Bowen away to Leicester. So I think away to Leicester's a good fixture, obviously for an attacking point of view, and Bowen's been in crazy form, so that's good. King is the only one I'm like, it's Brighton at home. I'm not really expecting much out of him. Like, I'm just genuinely looking at him and expecting 2 points, nothing more. And then Ronaldo, a double as well. I probably should more accurately put the vice captain on Ronaldo. I have it on De Gea in this graphic, but I think I have moved it to Ronaldo since making this. Kane for Ronaldo. Ooh, Kane for Ronaldo. Would I switch Kane for Ronaldo? I know double game weeks are enticing, but I think we kind of have to also look at 25 and 26 in conjunction, and also even 27. So yes, Kane's got a single game week fixture, and it's Wolves, who are not the best it's not good for an attacking point of view. And Ronaldo's got the double, but then Kane's got a double next week as well. Although it's got Man City and Burnley, but Ronaldo's got Leeds, but he might get a rest. So I think in total over the next 2 game weeks, they've both got 3 fixtures. I think you just have to decide if it's worth doing that kind of hokey-cokey, Kane to Ronaldo, and then maybe back to Kane. I don't think I would do it. I think if you've got, say, like Fernandes already, I don't think you necessarily have to double up with the pair of them. I did it just because I had the bit more flexibility to be able to do so. But I mean, if you don't have any out of Fernandes or Ronaldo, I can make a better argument for going for Ronaldo if you really want to captain him. But if you've got like a De Gea, honestly, I would just captain De Gea. I don't think Ronaldo's worth it. You're not going to want him, I think, moving forward, because yes, he's got a single game fixture against Leeds, but he could get rest potentially. And then 27, it's Watford, which is okay. But say if you're free hitting in 27, you can sell him prior to that and bring him back in on a free hit. And then from 28 onwards, Manchester United have got pretty tough fixtures. So yeah, I don't think I'll be doing Kane for Ronaldo, to be honest. Mitchell, are you a fan of Burnley assets in the upcoming game weeks? I really only have Iron Cornet like everyone else yet. I think the 3 Burnley assets, or 4 maybe, that most people are going to go for, I think is Pope. In goals is great because he's obviously going to accrue a lot of saves, and they've been looking better at home, to be honest, as well defensively. Cornet, but he does seem like he's a bit injury prone. By the look of it, seems like he always picks up a knock or something. And then you got Weghorst. I think I've pronounced that correctly. He looked pretty decent actually in a couple of stints already. And the forwards are not doing anything at the moment, so you can take a punt on a Burnley forward. So I don't think I'll be bringing in any on a free transfers. I think I'm mainly just going to pile in on 27 when they've got a double. If I free hit, which I'm thinking I probably will free hit in 27. And then just get rid of the Burnley assets. But I think if you're looking to transfer in, you could also even go for some of their defenders like Tarkowski, but obviously they've got Liverpool this week, so it's not the best week to bring them in. I think Cornet, Pope, and Weghorst would be the 3 that I'd go for. I don't mind them. A double-double in 26 and 27 is very appealing. So say if you've got like Antonio, you can hold him for Leicester away this week, and then I can't remember who they've got next week, but just punt him for a Weghorst, and that can create some funds if you say want to make bigger upgrades in, like, say, your midfield or your defence. Do you think Foden will play? I think Foden will play just because he only played 60 minutes in the last game. So I think there's a good chance that he didn't play as many minutes as some of the other guys. I think what we'll do, I'll jump onto those predicted teams. I'm not smart enough to try to predict the Manchester City lineup, but having those predictions might be useful to look at. Inzaghi is in the chat. Looking good this week. Missed you at FPL Social. Next one in Sydney. Yeah, couldn't tune into Social or even fly down to Melbourne. But hopefully we get one in Sydney. 100% will have to go. It's so good to see the Aussie FPL community growing, throwing events as well, doing meetups and things like that. And I was out all day as well, so I wasn't even able to tune into the live stream, but I'll definitely watch a replay of that, I think, tomorrow, mate. It looked really cool that we had an Australian FPL meetup. So that's the team for this week. Kind of mentioned already, I don't think I'm going to be looking to make any moves this week. Now, I'll quickly just jump onto this slide before I get into transfer planning in terms of doing some team tinkering. So this is from Mikel Tokfam. So I've showed this kind of graphic before. This is like his probability distribution of fixtures until the end of the season. I like this slide because it shows nicely the teams that double, where they've got blanks, and where we could see future doubles as well. And so in the little table below that, I've kind of got what my current chip strategy is. I think I'm very likely to triple captain 26. That'll be Mo Salah because it's a Norwich and Leeds double. Now 27, I'm leaning mainly to doing a free hit, but I'll go into a little bit later. I could do some moves to potentially just dead end my team into 27 instead of, attacking the 26 double, but it does mean sacrificing the 26 double if I do try to dead end into 27, and then I could wildcard out of that in 28. Or what I might do is just instead use free transfers in 28. So 28's got some fixture swings, and as you can see there in 28, there's a good chance of a double for both Chelsea and Arsenal. So Chelsea play Burnley in that particular game week, so it'd be a Burnley and Arsenal double for Chelsea, and Arsenal would have Watford and Chelsea. So they both have obviously a tough fixture between themselves, but then they've got another good fixture. And especially with Chelsea, they have a really nice run of fixtures from 28 onwards. So 28's got a bit of a fixture swing, so potentially a wild card, and also some negative fixture swings for the likes of the Manchester United. So 28 could be a week where I decide to wild card, but I haven't committed to that at all. 30, we have a better idea of the fixtures now as well. So you can see, again, in this graphic, really useful. Good chance that Leicester, or not a good chance, it's confirmed that Leicester, Wolves, Arsenal, Leeds, Aston Villa, and Brentford all play in 30. So maybe, again, if I did wildcard in 28, I could have a few of those players so that I can navigate game week 30 without a free hit. But if I don't, I probably would just free hit in 30. And then, depending on whether I played the wildcard or not, or the free hit, because I'll try, say, for example, if I've used the wildcard in 28, I probably would avoid free hitting in 30. And then I'll try to use the free hit later and say game week 33 in another double game week. You can see there's a double game weeks, also some blanks potentially. You can see some like Man City might blank, Crystal Palace might blank, Wolves might blank, etc. So there could be a few teams that blank as well. So a free hit might be good in 33. Otherwise, the vice versa situation, I hold my wildcard free hit again in game week 30, and then I wildcard around 32, 33, or even 34, and just kind of navigate the rest of the season in that way, and I'll probably bench boost in game week 36. So that's my current plan on the chip strategy. I've added some little notes there, but I've kind of gone into that already, and I think I do want to make sure I get onto my team in terms of tinkering. And just quickly mentioning game week 28, this is where we can see some kind of fixture swing. So obviously Chelsea, a lot of people are offloading their assets because, there's, they've got blanks and everything like that, but they're going to a really nice run of fixtures from 28 onwards and potentially a double in 28. Leeds, good fixtures. Wolves, Arsenal, it's a good reason to pile up on Arsenal because they play game week 30 and they've got good fixtures as well from 28. Obviously there are some teams like Norwich you probably wouldn't target that heavily, but Southampton, so your Broyars, your Livramentos, Leicester, maybe you want to jump on like a Maddison. Aston Villa still have some decent fixtures as well. But you can see down the bottom as well. So Manchester United, a lot of people might be piling into Manchester United to dead end in 27, but then they've got Man City, Spurs, and then Liverpool. So it's a pretty tough, 3-game stretch there. So you could wildcard out of that. You could wildcard maybe out of a one Liverpool asset, maybe your Brighton if you're piling in for, say, like a 25 double. So there's a few fixture swings. You can see even West Ham featured there as well. So a 28 wildcard, because of some fixture swings, is something I have thought about as well. I think that's pretty much it for my kind of stuff that I wanted to discuss. What I'll do is I will jump on and show my team and what I'm thinking about. Okay, so this is FPL.team. I think I have caught a few deadline streams already, and everyone seems to be on FPL.team. It's a great resource. It's literally just in the browser FPL.team, and then it's a great way to plan ahead in terms of tinkering. So I've got my Game Week 25 team up here. I'll just quickly look at the chat. My team is Foster, Gaeta, Cancelo, Trent, Manquillo, Reguilon, Kufal, Jota, Bowen, Foden, Trossard, Coutinho, King, Watkins, Kane. You've got 2 changes. What should you do? Okay, so is that 2 free transfers? If you've got 2 free transfers, I mean, Foster has got, who does he have? He's got, who do Watford play? Brighton. I mean, it's not a horrible fixture. I think you could play Foster or Crystal Palace. I can't even remember who Crystal Palace have. Sorry, let me just check the fixtures. Crystal Palace have got Brentford. Okay, so I don't think you necessarily need to make a goalkeeper change. I'm guessing you'd play Cancelo, Trent, Reguilon, and Sufal. So that's 4 at the back. And you play Jota, Bowen, Foden, Trossard, Coutinho. You could play just 4-5. Oh, sorry, but you probably would want to play Watkins and Kane. I don't think there's too much wrong with that team, to be honest. I mean, I guess I didn't even realize. That's the obvious thing. You don't have any Manchester United players, so you don't really have a great captainable option this week. I guess that's why I meant Kane to Ronaldo. I think you who might have suggested, Kane for Ronaldo. Yeah, looking at your team, if you have 2 free transfers, I would be tempted actually then to do Kane to Ronaldo and then captain Ronaldo just to kind of cover off that in terms of an EO perspective. And then maybe if you've got the 2 free transfers, roll that second one into next week. that give you 2, and then you can probably just go Ronaldo back to Kane. I know it's a bit of a hokey cokey, but I think it probably is good to get a Manchester United player to captain. I think this week you don't even have Salah as well. So yeah, I would probably advocate going Kane to Ronaldo. Or if you say you preferred Fernandes, you could instead maybe take out Foden, but he's got Norwich, and I do think he has a chance of playing, so I don't think that's the best either. So yeah, I would probably... It also depends how much money in the bank you have. I think I would take out Kane for Ronaldo and captain him. And then next week, if you've got a second transfer that you can roll to next week, so you have 2, then use that to reverse that, get in Kane back for Ronaldo, and then use that money to try to get Salah. Or instead of going back to Kane, actually next week, you could go Ronaldo to a cheaper forward like a Weghorst. That frees up like 5-6 mil. And then you could do like Trossard up to Salah. I think that's what I would do. You really want to make sure you got Salah next week, I think. So yeah, that's probably what I would do. Kane for Ronaldo this week. And then next week, you could probably get Ronaldo down to a cheaper forward like a Bruyne or a Weghorst who's got a double and also has a double in Game Week 27. And then use those funds to upgrade Trossard to like a Salah. I think that's probably what I would do with that team. I think for the next couple of weeks, I think trying to get a Manchester United player to captain this week is probably a priority. All right, so just taking a quick look at the team. So this is 25. As I mentioned, I've got 2.3 mil in the bank. I don't think I'd be making a transfer this week, and I'm captaining Fernandes. Now, the plan is for then in Game Week 26. So I'd have 2 free transfers now. Obviously, I'll just set up the team. So I'd bring in Ramsdale for De Gea. Apologies for kind of ducking around. My microphone's actually right in front of the desktop. It's a bit of an annoying thing. And Martinelli's actually, he hasn't got the double. It says he's got Brentford and Wolves, but he's only got Wolves because of his stupid 2 yellow cards. So it's so annoying. It's so annoying. I can't believe why did he do that? And yeah, guys, I'm an Arsenal fan, if you haven't realised, so that was even more frustrating. I really wanted to see him play in the double and get me some good points, but he's gone off and got himself suspended. So Martinelli won't be featuring for me in 26. Now, that's the team as it would be for Game Week 26. So as it stands, without making any moves, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 double game week players. If you include King and Dennis, I mean, 100% Salah is coming in for Fernandes, if I can spell his name correctly. So that's one move I would 100% do. I would triple captain Salah. And with the second free transfer, what I would do, I'd probably take out Ronaldo for a double game week striker. Probably would look to get one of Kane or Son, so I probably would go for Kane. And then I've still got 1.3 mil in the bank. And I do want to really attack this double game week. I think Arsenal have got a really good double game week, and obviously it's a bit of bias, but I think Arsenal defensively have been looking really, really good recently, especially at home. Given they've got 2 home fixtures, Brentford away, haven't been scoring that many goals. Wolves, we've just kept a clean sheet against at Wolves. So I think going for an Arsenal defender, doubling up with Ramsdale, I think should be a good move. Ideally, I'd also want to get an attacker in because I think that Brentford fixture is good for goals, but we have been struggling for goals as well. So I don't think it's a massive issue if I don't have an Arsenal attacker in this double game week. Obviously, Martinelli was the guy, but he's not going to play. But I think defense, in terms of like EO, I think is going to be really, really high. So I think I'm looking to probably bring in an Arsenal defender, and I think I'd bring in Tierney just for that attacking threat. I could bring in Gabriel, and I probably would take out Livramento. Like, I know Livramento's got some good fixtures moving forward, so you can see Everton, Norwich, Villa, Watford, Burnley, Leeds. But to be honest, with defenders of Cancelo, Laporte, and Trent, I don't think I'd be playing Livramento that often. I don't mind losing Livramento if I really want to attack double game week 26. So I probably would take out Livramento for most likely Tierney, I think. And those moves would be for a -4. And now I'd be playing 5 at the back, basically. Or I could actually take out Laporte for Tierney, just to kind of cover off that. If I'm bringing in Kane, I'm obviously hoping he scores against Man City, so maybe I just put Laporte on the bench, or I could not play one of my Watford strikers, but I think the fact they've got a double. So I think that would all be for a -4. Now, I'm conscious that there's 0.4 mil in the bank, so while that's enough for now, Salah's price is going to go up like crazy because of all the people bringing him in. So I might do that move quickly early in the week just to get Salah in, because he's probably the one who's going to rise in price the most. Ronaldo's price is probably going to drop. I think he's going to get mass sold. So I'll try to hold off as long as I can on those moves. If, say, for example, I got priced out, I mean, Salah is a non-negotiable. He's 100% coming in. Maybe instead of Kane, I go for like a Lacazette. But then getting Lacazette means I can't go for an Arsenal defender because I've already got Martinelli. So I already have 3 Arsenal with Ramsdale at the back. So maybe I go for like a Weghorst or something. I haven't 100% decided, but this is kind of why I want to roll into the next week with 2 free transfers just to see what happens in terms of the landscape. I can make a better decision on kind of which players I want to go for. And even my strategy, because I'm not 100% going to free hit in 27. So for example, if I was maybe thinking I might not want to free hit in 27, then maybe I'd go for like a Weghorst just to get a Burnley attacker so I can cover off the Burnley player in 27. But even Kane as well, he fits the bill for 27. So all of that would be for -4. And if, say, for example, I was priced out of Kane and Salah, if I really wanted the two of them, I would just, instead of getting Tierney, I would just go for a cheaper Arsenal defender. So I'd probably just get like a Ben White, who's like 4.5 mil. Obviously, he doesn't have the attacking threat, but he's pretty good on the underlying bonus point system. I'd try to get most of the points from clean sheets anyway. So that's a bit of a kind of a cop-out situation if, say, I'm priced out of those moves. But ideally, I would do that. And that's how I'd be looking for 26. So that's pretty good. I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It'd be 9 double Gameweek players for -4, triple captain Salah. I think that's in my eyes, that's a good plan. I only said in my last team selection that that Martinelli was good because I was well set up, and then he goes and gets a red card. So who knows what's going to happen. And then if I move ahead to 27, so obviously there's some big issues. This is the downside of piling into like Arsenal and Liverpool. I'm going to have 6 players blank. Now, I'll try to set up the team as best as I can for this game week. So I'll bring out Tierney for Laporte, and that's the best I can do. And I've still, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 9 players in 27. Now, ordinarily, I think in a blank, if I could, take a -4 to field 11, I'd probably just do it. But 27 seems a bit of a different week where we've got a double for Burnley. So Burnley, I've got a double. I've got 0 Burnley at this stage. Maybe I could bring someone in 26, but I think realistically I probably wouldn't. I'd probably go with those moves that I mentioned already. And so I could free hit Burnley in, get 3 of them. I could keep the likes of a Man City because they've got Everton away, so I can bring in like a De Bruyne or like a Mahrez. And then I can even get like Kane and Son who've got Leeds. I can bring back in like Fernandes because United have got Watford, so now I'm losing all of my Manchester United players basically as well. So I do like the look of a free hit in 27. And just thinking, if I do a free hit 27, I'd get back this team in 28. Now again, some fixture problems. De Gea's got Man City, but this is the benefit of going hard into Arsenal if you do free hit in 27 because they've got good fixtures on the other side of that. So I'd bring in back in Tierney. I'd probably maybe bench Bowen away to Liverpool. I could play Jota, and Martinelli would be back by now, and he should have the double. So this is kind of thinking why maybe I'm looking to not sell him straight away, just because I know he may double for me again later. And who would I drop for Martinelli? Oh, King. Get rid of King. And so I'll do that in 28. Now, I mentioned earlier that there were some fixture swings. So Chelsea, I don't have any Chelsea. So if it's confirmed that Chelsea have a double, how would I get in Chelsea players? Like Reece James is probably the most obvious player. I mean, he was such a legend to me earlier in the season. I wouldn't want to take out Cancelo, Laporte, Trent, or Tierney because Tierney covers also game week 30. So I'd probably just take out Ben Davies. So if I did that, I mean, I know Laporte is Manchester United, but City after that actually have some good fixtures. So let's see, they've got United, there's Palace, Brighton, Burnley. I can see Brighton and Burnley both being clean sheets. Palace could be a clean sheet. Wolves later is a clean sheet. So, out of those 6 games after that, I could see 3 or 4 of them being clean sheets. And Laporte's got a great attacking threat as well. So I'd probably just do that. Just looking at my watch, guys, just making sure the deadlines doesn't creep up on me. And then I have to make 1.3 mil to afford in James. So what I could do is maybe, again, if I feel like I'm not in a strong enough position, I could maybe wildcard, but because I'm going hard into Arsenal, I've got Kane, I've got Everton, I think maybe I don't necessarily have to do the wildcard, and so what I'll do then is maybe just take out like Dennis for Bruyne, because Bruyne have got some good fixtures. As you can see, they've got Villa, Watford, Burnley, Leeds, and so that's a pretty decent run, so that makes some funds. I just need to make 0.5 then at that point, and so probably, like, I don't like making goalkeeper transfers, but if it was to make money, I'd probably just take out De Gea. Otherwise, I could take out Trossard for like a Ramsey as well. That's also something I could do because Ramsey would have Southampton at home, which is still a decent fixture. And then he's got West Ham, Arsenal, Wolves, Spurs. So the fixture one does get not as good for Villa, but he could be a good budget enabler. And so I could just do that. So that would be for -8 in 28. And that would bring in the likes of a Reece James, Obviously not ideal because I only have one Chelsea player, so I'll have to think about it in 28. But that's my current plan at the moment. I think free hit 27, roll free transfer in, sorry, let me start at the beginning. Roll free transfer 25, Salah, Kane, and Tierney in 26. 27 probably free hit if I bring in Tierney, and then 28 we'll see. Wildcard maybe, depending on what we get in terms of double game week announcements. So I'll just quickly look at the chat after that little rant. So Mitchell, technically he shouldn't even have got the red. It's silly from him. Yeah, it's a tough one. I think it's in the rules that if you make 2 bookable offences in the same passage of play, you can get booked twice. So, I mean, if that's the rule, fine. The problem is that we probably don't see it getting enforced at all. So yeah, it's just super frustrating. It's so frustrating, both from an Arsenal fan perspective and FPL team perspective. Azan, bring in Mahrez or Coutinho, and why? You know what? I think it's a good time to actually jump on that City predictor. So I'll just jump on Twitter. So I think it was Jump the Wave is what their account's called. Yeah, Emma. So she releases like kind of a predicted team for Man City based on she aggregates a few people's predictions. So she's updated it. So yeah, okay. So she says Foden, Grealish, and Sterling are predicted as most likely to start. So it seems like Mahrez might actually miss out this game week. So I've just opened up the graphic. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. So basically Diaz looks like he's almost nailed to play, 91%. Walker almost nailed as well because he can't play in the Champions League for 3 games. So he's a good chance of playing. Cancelo 42% and Laporte 47%. So I could be really stuffed with both of them missing. So I'm just going to cop it on the chin note. I mean, I could maybe take out Martinelli for someone, but I really want to roll this week. So I might just have to cop 10 players this week. But we've got some double gaming fixtures to compensate. Mahrez is 56%. But Grealish is 85, Foden is 83, and Sterling is 71. So they've all got a slightly better percentage chance, according to the predictions, to play. Now, I mean, Mahrez is unreal. He's so good when he plays. I think, though, Coutinho, again, it depends on chip strategy. I think Coutinho has looked really good as well. Villa has still got some good fixtures. So if I just quickly take a look at the Villa fixtures. So I'll just quickly refresh this page, actually. Oh, bad gateway. Oh, no. I've stuffed up the FPL.team. It must be crashing because of there must be a bazillion people on it doing their deadline streams, transfer planning. We'll just quickly jump on the main FPL page. So let's see. Villa have still got Newcastle, Watford, Brighton, Southampton, West Ham, and then Arsenal. So they're playing game week 30. I think I'll just maybe go with Coutinho. But I mean, Mahrez has been unreal. I think we have Razla in the chat. He Daniel, he loves his Razzler picks, and he has been on Mahrez. I mean, the thing is, they've still got good fixtures as well. Norwich, Spurs, Everton, United, Crystal Palace. I mean, it's unreal how good Mahrez has been. Just look at those scores every time he starts. 13, 12, 10, 9, 10. He just keeps scoring goals whenever he plays. But I think if he's not going to play this week, especially if it's Norwich, I think I'd maybe just go with Coutinho. So hopefully that helps out Marzen in terms of choosing between the two of them. So Ryan, Edouard in for Ronaldo, Rashi in for Foden, Mo in for Foden. I mean, I wouldn't be bringing in Edouard for Ronaldo, especially when Ronaldo's got a double game week, so I definitely wouldn't do that. Rashford in for Foden. I mean, according to this, Foden is a decent chance maybe of playing, but Rashford does have a double game week, so I don't mind that as the move. I think going for a double game week player, I'd always favour that. So I don't mind Rashford for Foden, especially if you're looking to get rid of Foden anyway. And then Mo in for Foden. I mean, yeah, if you can get Salah in for Foden, obviously I think that's a good upgrade. I think Salah will start. I think he'll do well against Burnley. So yeah, I don't mind going, Salah for Foden. But the first one, Edouard in for Ronaldo, I don't think I'd be doing that. Tanush, Mahrez for Jota or Bowen. Now, I don't think I'd do either, in all honesty. Just because surely you want Jota for 26. He's got Norwich and Leeds double, and he just scored a brace, and I think he's going to start again. I think he's definitely, maybe not necessarily first choice, but, I mean, he's played so well this season. He's definitely high up, I think, in Klopp's thinking. So I definitely wouldn't take out Jota anytime soon, or at least not before 26. Bowen has got Leicester as well. Leicester, statistically the worst defense over the past few game weeks, so I definitely don't think I would be taking out Bowen. So, and as we saw, I think Mahrez he might not even play this game week, so I don't think I'd be doing that move as well. FPL Planner in the chat, How's it going? Yep, going good. We've got 23 minutes until deadline. Rolling the free transfer. I should maybe just check my team just to make sure it's all good. And anyone, of course, guys, if there's any last minute news, team news on Twitter, just tag me and we can jump on it and show it on Twitter. But yeah, it's going good. It's nice not panicking moves at the last minute. I think I'm pretty set on this. I'll captain Fernandes, vice captain Ronaldo, and we'll leave it at that. We'll decide next week what we want to do. I think rolling this week is a good idea. Wildcard lock, yes. So if you guys don't follow FPL Planner, fantastic Twitter account to follow. One of the best members of the FPL Australia community. Lovely fellow. Definitely follow his Twitter and Planner if you want. I'd be really keen to see your wildcard if you want to drop it in the chat or just DM me on Twitter. I'd be really keen to see what you've actually decided on, because I know a few people have decided to wildcard, and I think you're actually going to bench boost in 26 as well. Right, sorry, okay, so you're correct. Sorry, you meant Salah, Rashford, and Edouard in, Gray, Foden, CR7 out. No, I still don't think I'd do it, because you're taking out Ronaldo, who's got a double game week you're kind of switching it in terms of you get Rashford in for double game week. I would personally just wait until next week. I mean, Gray you can definitely take out, I think, but it seems like Foden's got a decent chance of playing against Norwich. I think you can keep him for this week. CR7's got the double game week. I would keep him. If you've just got one move and you can bench Gray and play a decent team, I'd roll. And then next week with 2 moves, you can take out Ronaldo for a cheap double game week striker, upgrade Gray to Salah for his double game week, and then whatever money you have, you can take out Foden for someone else as well. So I'll definitely try to do that, I think, instead of forcing it this week. Stephen Donald, I reckon Pep is watching this now saying, you will never guess my lineup. That is correct. Well, I'm sure Pep is not watching Amar Talks FPL deadline stream. I think he's got more important things to do. But yeah, he probably, surely someone's tipped him off saying like, oh, do you know that FPL players hate you for your roulette? I'm sure he does not care, 1 ounce at all. So yeah, if Pep Guardiola was watching this deadline stream, post in the chat. I'd be happy to see you, Pep. Okay. So that's kind of what I was mainly going to be discussing, like my team. I think what I'll do as well, we'll see if this FPL.team website is working. It was kind of went down for a little bit by the look of it. No, I think it's back actually, which is good. So we've got about 20 minutes left, so that's cool. Any last minute question, guys, as well, obviously put them in the chat below. So I brought on my team again, just because I wanted to show you guys a couple of other scenarios that I was thinking about as well. But for now, I've decided probably it's not the best thing to do. So I'll keep Fernandes captain. Now, this week, again, I'd probably leave it in terms of rolling it. Now, next week, I could take out Ronaldo. And don't laugh, guys. I have thought about Lacazette. I know he's been missing a few chances recently. This could be my Arsenal bias, but Brentford, I can see goals in that. Not necessarily goals in Wolves. Watford, I could see some goals, especially if he's got a double game week. He's on penalties. He's been playing good recently. I know he's not the best finisher, but I did check his stats on FBref, and he's typically actually, since he's been at Arsenal, he's always tended to overperform his expected goals by about 1 or 2. And so far this season, he's actually underperformed by 2. Now, that could be just regression in the player in general, or it could just be that he's just missing chances that he normally would bury. So I'm thinking maybe he could, start to turn it around a little bit. I do like the fact that he's on penalties. So I could bring in Lacazette as well. And then what that actually lets me do, obviously, I'll bring in Salah for Fernandes. We have to do that, obviously. If I can type. So then I'd have 5.3 million in the bank. Now, if I didn't want to go for Kane, this actually lets me get Son instead of Kane. So I don't mind that as well. So I think it would be for Trossard, because I know he's got a decent fixture at home to Burnley, but I'm not going to be that interested in Trossard, to be honest, moving forward. But I can get Son in. And so obviously I can swap out De Gea, bring in Ramsdale. Again, that would be for a -4. And I'd probably bench Laporte again for Dennis. So in this, this is all for -4 again as well. I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I still have 9 double game week players. Basically, it's Son, Lacazette versus Kane and Tierney. That's really the main difference in this scenario. So I'd be keen to know what you guys actually think about that. The problem is that I'm going with 1 defender in Arsenal and 1 attacker. So I kind of have in my head of thinking, do I go try to kind of, balance it, getting one of the attackers in case we score a lot of goals, and maybe sacrifice some of the defensive effective ownership, because I do think we'll have good potential for a defensive point of view in this double game week. or just go pile in on the defense. Forget about the attack. I know I could go for like a Saka or Martinelli, but I can't even bring in Tierney in this situation because then I have to use another move to take out Martinelli to free up that third Arsenal slot. So I'd be keen to actually know what you guys think about that, because I'm still in a little bit of two minds. I think the Kane plan is a little bit smoother, and that lets me get Tierney. So it's Son and Kane versus Son and Lacazette versus Tierney and Kane. In my head, I kind of think that the Son and Kane is, 50-50. Obviously, it's a big money saving for Son, but I do prefer Tierney over Lacazette. So I'm kind of thinking maybe I just lean towards the Kane route. But I would be keen to let you see what you guys think as well. All right, let me just answer a couple of questions in the chat, just given that we're getting closer to deadline. Mark, quick question. Why will nobody bring in James Ward-Prowse? Too many other midfielders to buy. I mean, James Ward-Prowse, yeah. So the thing with James Ward-Prowse is he's just very unfashionable in terms of FPL. I mean, God, I love him in terms of real life. I don't think I've seen that too many better players who can, stand over a dead ball. The thing with him is that he's very, very consistent over a season. If you look at his history, the last two seasons, it was 156 and then it was 117 points. And in both seasons, he was priced at about 6 mil. So for 6 mil, like last season, 156 points, that's a good return. The problem is you just can't predict when he's going to get his points because he's a dead ball specialist. So he can get assists from corners or free kicks. He does take penalties as well, which is a good sign. Obviously, the last few weeks he's done amazingly well, actually, just looking at it. 9, 13, 9, 7, 6, 11. But the problem is before that, this is what happens with him. He gets 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. And so he just goes on these really long runs. And even prior to that, it was 4, 2, 3, 3. So he just goes on these very long runs. And a lot of it's just timing with him. And sometimes it's just so hard to time him because he gets a lot of his points from dead ball situations. Then, it's just hard to time that, So I think that's the thing with James Ward-Prowse. Tanush, follow-up question. Should you bring in Robbo for Cancelo because of the Man City rotation risk and bring in Foden? No. I don't think I'd be doing that. Tanush, Cancelo is a non-negotiable for me, to be honest. He is a 100% season keeper. You could have, I don't know how early you got on him, but you could have value tied up in Cancelo as well. Yeah, I think so. I've got him at 6.6 in my team, and he's currently priced at 7.2. Look, I think he might miss one game, against Norwich. Sorry, that's Laporte. He might miss one game, but he's been look at that. He missed one game against Leeds when he was suspended, and that's it. He hasn't missed any other game. I think I wouldn't worry about it. It's just copper on the chin if he misses this game. That's fine. Robbo's a decent option, but Cancelo and Trent are non-negotiable in my opinion. So no, I don't think I'd do that. And bringing in Foden, I don't think I'd bring in Foden. He hasn't been doing the best recently as well. So I think I'd leave it and maybe try to prioritize like a double game week player. So maybe instead of Foden, maybe go for a Rashford this game week instead. You cost the extra 1 million, but you get a double game week player as well. Okay, let's jump on Twitter. See if we're seeing anything on Twitter. Oops, that's my notifications. Forget about that. Oh, Hughes FPL, he's in the chat as well. So he's got Captain Ronaldo, Vice Fernandez. I'd be keen to hear why you're captaining Ronaldo, Hughesy. For me, I'm mainly captaining Fernandez because of the expected minutes, and that's about it. And he's looked better recently, so I think that's the main reason why I'm just leaning towards captaining Bruno. Visual was saying Ronaldo and Bruno need a rest according to Rockstar. I don't know about that. Let's have a look. See, that would be chaos. Can you imagine that? I don't know if Rockstar's tweeting that. No, he said his last tweet was he was taking a little break from Twitter, so that's definitely not true. hopefully you're doing well. Our legend of late team news and the iconic needing a rest tweets. Yeah, I don't see anything happening on Twitter at the moment. So in terms of the City rotations, I'll quickly bring up Luke on Twitter because he also does. I really like reading his Man City tweets because he's quite good at predicting the team. Although he did mention that this week he found it very difficult to predict, but this is what he was going with. So he thinks that Cancelo will drop out for Walker and Zinchenko will come in at left back. He doesn't actually predict Diaz to start. He thinks KDB is going to drop out, and he thinks Mahrez will miss out. So I think Grealish, Foden, Sterling seems like the three that most people are predicting. And then you got Gundogan and Silva. Actually, that's interesting. if you still own Bernardo Silva, I mean, I took him out last week for Fernandes, which I don't regret. But if KDB didn't play, and Silva does play, and he plays right centre mid, I think that'll be really good for Silva. So it could be a nice parting gift, him playing right centre mid, because I think from right centre mid, he cuts in from his left, he's a little bit more attacking, especially with that KDB. Like when KDB's on the pitch, Silva plays way deeper. So Silva playing on the right could be interesting, although Gundogan could very easily go there instead. I think City, it's a tough one with City. I mean, I'm honestly expecting Cancelo to not play, so I'm waiting for Dennis 2 points off the bench, and Laporte, hopefully he plays because he's pretty versatile. Hopefully maybe he can even slot in at left back, because I think Norwich is just like, for City, I think that's almost a guaranteed clean sheet. Although if they don't play their first choice defense, maybe not, but yeah, we'll hope for the best. But that's the team I think for this week. And guys, if you guys are enjoying the deadline stream, first ever deadline stream on the channel, and you want to see more, give the stream a thumbs up, and do consider subscribing as well if you are new around here. It really will help the channel out. So it finally says, what do you think of Pogba? Yeah, Pogba is an interesting one. I haven't actually, to be honest, I haven't thought about Pogba like at all. I think because I've had triple United, he came back and he scored a goal against Burnley. I mean, what we could do is actually, I don't recall too much about where he actually played last game, so I might just take a quick look at SofaScore just to kind of see what it was saying in terms of the positionings he was taking up. Otherwise, if any Manchester United fans are in the chat, let me know. That might be quicker as well. So I have a quick look. Let's see, Burnley versus Manchester United. Let's go lineups. And guys, if you guys don't know about SofaScore, I think it's a great website. I use it when I say I haven't watched games, but it's good to get an idea of, like, say, the positioning of players and heat maps and stuff like that. And stats, I use like FBref as well. So it just help sense check some things as well. So I don't know if you guys can actually see that. Let's see if I can bring that up. So, I mean, yeah, he was playing kind of a little bit deeper all around the park, but he does have a couple of touches, it seems like, in the box as well. I mean, it's hard to get a read of that, but yeah, he obviously scored the goal. I mean, he only took the one shot, but I mean, Pogba's a class player. That would be a super punt. But I kind of did say it before. I think if you can stretch up to Rashford, I think that would be better, just because I think Rashford might have a better chance of actually doing well in these particular fixtures, just because of the nature. I think Southampton can be quite attacking, and so I think that might help someone like Manchester United on the counter attack. So I think maybe Rashford I'd punt on, but yeah, Pogba. I'm not sure if Manchester's red. Should I captain Pogba? Oh my god. Here I am saying, I don't know, or should I go Pogba? I don't know if you go Pogba, and they say, should I captain Pogba? Oh mate, you know what? Go for it. Captain Pogba. I think go with your gut. If your gut's saying Captain Pogba, do it. And tweet me if he does well. I want to see a screenshot. Captain Pogba, like 50 points in the double game week. No one is talking about him. I would love to see that. I mean, in all honesty, I don't know if I'd captain Pogba. He's only just come back from injury. I'd go for, like, honestly, I'd go for De Gea. Probably over a Pogba, just because of the save points. You know, he can probably get you 10 points in this double game week without even keeping a clean sheet. Tanush, what City's predicted back for this game week? Oh mate, I wish I could tell you, but no. So based on what Luke had predicted, and obviously, guys, I'm emphasizing these are predictions, nothing more. So he's predicting Zinchenko, Laporte, Stones, and Kyle Walker. I mean, Walker seems to make sense because of the UCL suspension. Zinchenko as well, just because he was on the bench. So he was on the bench last game. So I think he's a decent shout. So that's Luke's prediction: Zinchenko, Laporte, Stones, Walker. I'll quickly jump back to Emma's. At Jump the Wave. So if you guys want to follow her account as well, it's at Jump the Wave. You can see that she has previous team lineups as well. So her one, Diaz is actually, so what she does actually, she aggregates predictions from a few people, like forums and others as well. So it's not necessarily her own prediction. She does her own aggregate. She takes an aggregate of everyone's other people's predictions. So Diaz is actually very highly predicted to play 91%. And so is Walker, 100%. So it seems like Walker's pretty much almost guaranteed to play. Cancelo, 42%, is a bit lower. So looking at that, in terms of the highest percentage defenders, it would be Walker, Diaz, Stones, and Zinchenko. So it really seems like Zinchenko, Stones, and Walker seem to be the highest in terms of the defenders from, a couple of predictions. And so it really depends between Laporte and Diaz. So I guess if you've got Cancelo, I think you kind of maybe have to brace yourself for a rest. But look, we can never predict Pep. So yeah, that's the kind of thinking at the moment. I think on the back four. Manchester United. If not Pogba, I'm going for Ronaldo. Yeah, I think I would just go for Ronaldo, to be honest, because because he got benched, he should be on penalties, so he should hopefully play good minutes as well. I mean, maybe I need to think about it more. Bruno or Ronaldo captain. I've been on Bruno this whole time, and I haven't really strayed from that. Guys, this is the last few minutes of deadline. This is what makes me. This is what start thinking about. I've just been on Fernandes because I think. I don't know, midfielders get extra points for scoring a goal. I think he's been looking better recently. Ronaldo's been rotated a little bit. He just doesn't look good as well. The eye test is just telling me Fernandes over Ronaldo. So yeah, I think I'm going to stick with Fernandes. I think obviously I'm happy that I've got Ronaldo, and I think if you have Ronaldo but you don't have Bruno, I'd captain Ronaldo, and I think I'd be pretty comfortable with that as well. Okay, I don't think we'll get any real kind of team news. I mean, I guess we could talk quickly about the fixtures as well. So, I mean, Manchester United, Southampton. I mean, 11:30 p.m. in Oz. I mean, that's look, I stay up quite late a lot of the time, and so there's a good chance I might even. I mean, none of those 2 a.m. games actually thrill me. Everton Leeds could be a fun one to watch, just to watch Leeds because they're quite interesting. But I think realistically, I'll probably watch the Manchester United Southampton game. And I'll probably go to bed. But that's the problem. Monday morning, I have to go to work on Monday morning, but 1 a.m. You got Burnley, Liverpool. I'll probably try. Actually, I might not want to watch that because I don't have Salah, so I probably won't watch that. Yeah, really, there's only because of Arsenal not playing. So yeah, Leicester, West Ham, I have Bowen, and then Manchester United and Brighton again. Oh, sorry, 2 a.m. What am I talking about? Watford, Brighton. I've got Josh King and I've got Trossard. Trossard is going to save my game week, guys, 100%. I brought him in instead of Fernandes in Double Gameweek 22, and that went well. But Trossard is going to repay my faith. I have a feeling he's going to do well for me, even though he's only just coming back from COVID. Potter said he might be okay, so he said he should be okay, but you just never know how a player's going to come back from COVID. But you know what? Trossard is going to smash it. Watford away. Actually, you know what? He's not even going to score against Watford. I reckon he's going to score against United and wipe out my De Gea clean sheet. Manchester's red. -4 for David De Gea. Ooh. It's always a tough one doing a -4 point hit for a defender or a goalkeeper. But I think the only time where it's easier to justify is a double game week. You're currently starting Fabianski. Honestly, West Ham haven't looked the best defensively. I think Leicester can still attack even though they can't defend. -4 for David De Gea. Again, kind of depends on chip strategy because, I mean, he'll have a. I mean, this thing they still have decent fixtures up until 27. You got Leeds and Watford, and then City obviously in 28. It's not ideal. So basically, to weigh up that, you have Fabian, like De Gea has to at least get a clean sheet to justify it, or make heaps and heaps of saves. I'd be tempted, actually. I'd be tempted. I think taking hits in double game weeks for defenders, I don't mind necessarily. And it also does protect some EO in terms of rank because De Gea is going to be very highly owned. I think I'd do it, but I don't mind taking hits. As you can see from my transfer history, I started the season without taking too many hits. And then you can see basically game week 17 is when all the COVID postponements happened. I took a hit in every week except last game week was the first game week in like weeks that I hadn't taken a hit. So I've been taking a lot of hits recently. It feels good to not take another hit this week as well. I haven't rolled a transfer in what seems like forever. Yeah, so I would do the -4, to be honest. Maybe because I'm live on stream, I'm just telling people, yeah, just take a -4. But no, I think for EO protection, I don't mind that move. I don't think West Ham will keep a clean sheet as well, if that helps your decision. So yeah, I think I'd probably do that. I would bring in De Gea for -4, just for the double game week punt, I think. Quickly check Twitter. It's 9:57. I don't think we'll probably get any team news. okay, the transfer algorithm, he's got a good, very good rank, 3.7k. So he's done Alonso to dunk, so he's targeting double game week, and he's rolling his second free transfer, and he's Bruno captain according to the captaincy calculator. So guys, if you don't follow Miguel Tokvan, I'm actually on his Patreon now. He has a transfer algorithm. It's quite very algorithm-y based and stuff. But he's leaning Fernandes captain. I'm guessing part of that is because of expected minutes. So take that for what you will. Helps reaffirm my decision. We've got Zofar Utkarsh. He's also a fantastic manager. He's done great to Bruno. So he's bringing in Bruno and he's captaining him. So he actually already had Ronaldo, but he brought in Bruno and is captaining him. So I think we're seeing a bit of a trend where people are going to be captaining mainly Bruno. So I actually think Bruno might have higher effective ownership than Ronaldo. So if you try to balance your kind of EO, then maybe that's something to do. FPL Focal, he's a fantastic YouTuber. He was coming number one for ages. So he's actually taken a -4. He's taking in Gray for Bruno, Alonso to Cucurella, and Dennis to Broja. So he's actually taking out a double game play for Broja. Now that's an interesting move, one that I would not have thought to have done. So he must see something in getting in Broja. I mean, Broja is a fantastic asset. I should have posted my team on Twitter, but that's okay. I'm live on stream. But guys, yep, that's going to be my team, I think, for this game week. I'm not expecting great things from Man City. I think Cancelo's not going to play, so I think Dennis will come in at home to Brighton. I don't see too much there, so I'm seeing a couple of 2 points for my Watford strikers. Quick predictions: De Gea 10 points, Laporte if he plays 8, give him a couple of bonus points. Trent away to Burnley 6, Davies 2, Trossard 20, 100% Trossard's getting 20 points. Jota 3, we'll let him blank. Bowen 5, Fernandes will get 12 points. King 2, Ronaldo 9. I'll give Ronaldo 9 points. I'll let him blank in one and captain and score a goal in the other. So I'm not going to do the math on that, but that's my points predictions for my team. So yeah, we'll see. I think the double game. Let's hope. Let's have some fun. Maybe I'll watch Brighton at 2 a.m. So it seems like it's 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. Sorry. So I might just refresh. I think we might be locked out. Yep, we are locked out. Deadline's over. So guys, I'm probably just going to end the stream there, unless I'm happy to stay on the stream for a little bit longer as well. But yeah, so that's that. Free transfer rolled. First time in, I think, game week 16 that I've had to do that. So that feels really nice to be able to do that as well. Manchester's red. I'm trusting my gut. Captain Pogba. Yes, good. Trust your gut. I love to see it. If Ronaldo scores more than one, I'll be mad. Yeah, fair enough. And it's always annoying when you're 50-50 and the guy you don't go for ends up like banging. But you know what? If Pogba smashes it, 100%, please tweet me. I want to be able to reshare that. I want to see that because you trusted your gut. Fantastic decision. Captaining Pogba. It's double game week. We want to have fun. FPL is about fun. If that means captaining Pogba, then so be it. Mitchell, good luck, mate. Yep, good luck to you and good luck to everyone as well for double game week 25. When is the next deadline? I can't even remember. I can't even see now. Anyway, but yeah, guys, I'll probably just end the stream there. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. Deadline stream fun, and if you guys did, really appreciate the thumbs up on the live stream. Do please consider subscribing as well if you are new around here. I'll try to do more deadline streams as well if the time is a nice one instead of those pesky 5 a.m. ones here in Sydney. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Give me some feedback as well if you like the deadline stream, if you want me to show anything different. I'm still learning about the whole live streaming process. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to end the stream there. Good luck for Game Week 25, and I'll see you all in the next one.